Cannon damage testing between raw, crit, and elemental because somebody asked me to. So in my case, every single cannon has at least the same 4 traits, which are threat thief 22%, desperation, and one stroke. They all have that. That is the one thing that's consistent. And they're all the max level, I guess, weapons I think in terms of damage I could make. So that's what I'm going with there. And as far as my armor goes, it's going to be the exact same for every single build. There is no difference here. That's the armor. Now, talismans, there's only one that changes. So for the elemental cannon build, I'm pretty sure you're better off having fire boost versus having just like full raw. So I have a 6% desperation talisman, but 2% water boost. For this build for the elemental fire cannon, I swapped it out for a 2% fire boost and 3% desperation, considering most of my damage comes from fire. Could be a mistake, I don't know. Now for the other build, like I said, I'm using a 6% desperation and 2% water boost. That's like the only difference. Do keep in mind I do have one stroke fury, so there will be some damage changes. I probably should have changed that to just be desperation and not have that sort of influx of damage, but the person who asked me to do this said to use my strongest builds, and I'm pretty sure one stroke fury is freaking cracked, so excuse all the numbers on the screen. Going to the numbers on the screen, let's go ahead and go through this list. It may look a little jank, I'm sorry, I tried my best. I'm basically showing the raw damage. So raw, it goes raw, crit, elemental. The white numbers are when you're not hitting weak points, and the orange numbers are when you are hitting weak points. And the damage differences happen whenever it enrages, because I have battle spirit, and also whenever I break apart or just trigger one stroke fury, which is why there are so many numbers and different numbers. The main thing though is look at the highest number, which is the first one for each category, and compare that to the other weapons. So far, crit has higher damage than raw. And this is also versus a DP volatile Lured Soulstalker, which has a 3-star weakness to elemental, which is the next weapon I'm showing, or the next cannon build I'm showing. And so far, we're already starting off to a pretty crazy damage difference, considering it's not enraged yet, although now it is. And it's kind of hard hitting the freaking tail of this monster. I'm not sure what the deal is. But as we can see, the highest damage so far is the 176 on elemental. I believe it's a crit though. It's like around 140, like just regular hits. And that's pretty insane, because that monster, again, only has a 3-star weakness to fire damage. The highest it goes, so like the highest it generally goes is like 4. There are 5 stars, but it's like 2 monsters have a 5-star weakness. Usually it's a 4. This Ice Tusk was the next test subject, and it has a 4-star weakness to fire. And I think its weakest point is the head. So in this case, I'm going for the tail just because it was turned away from me, which is kind of rough. If I was going for complete headshots right there, I'm pretty sure I kill it a little bit faster than what I just did. Now we're on to the crit weapon, and this is crit on an unenraged monster, 1 stroke fury active, 152 crit was the highest I hit for. Now when it's enraging, the damage is a bit higher. And I'm focusing the tail again here, but I do go for the headshots whenever I can, and 171 was the highest number I saw. And the thing with crit weapons, or the crit cannon, is the end payload does hit for a decent chunk of damage, and the fact that you rely on a crit for that is a little rough. So crit's good, but it does kind of suck when you have to expect that last hit crits. Now elemental, already off to an insane start, and the moment it's enraged, and I trigger 1 stroke fury, the damage is freaking insane. 221 ticks. Dog. Cannon's it's a little different, and it's a consistent 1494, I think. I could be wrong on that. So what I learned from this is that elemental it's insane. It's really insane versus volatile, or versus DP volatiles. And I guess volatiles that have a 4-star weakness for sure. I didn't test it on a 3-star weakness, so I'm not too sure. I'm also not positive how big a difference it really makes. But when you're facing the DP volatiles, let me go ahead and see it real quick. So using the elemental is 176 versus 151 versus 129. Yeah, elemental is the wave. Like your medium hitting hit was 151 on elemental versus enraged monster. So if you can, elemental weapons are cracked, especially cannon. I can't really speak for the other weapons. Now I do have in my possession a elemental umbrella, which is pretty good, and an elemental hammer, which I think is cracked. Tunnel vision, flame wielder, dog. That's pretty freaking saucy. The umbrella has parry boost, fury, and flame welder, but dodge master kind of sucks. The hammer has extended wrap, which is annoying sounding, but it's good damage. Like this flame hammer is crazy, and I mean crazy. So I guess my conclusion so far is elemental is really nice. The downside though, it is very expensive food wise. Here's what I use for my raw build. It's going to be smoked soy meat. You could use smoked miso meat. The main thing there is having the 5% times 2, so 10%. And then you finish it off with a rock salt, which is a 11% total attack boost increase. Now for crit, I take smoked dried cube meat, 1 a damn, and then a smoked dried golden sesame seed, followed by 1 prickly ash pepper, or I just eat 4 prickly ash peppers to get 4% crit master and 4% crit boost fury. I think it's better off with the smoked dried golden sesame seed. Now for elemental, I eat 1 smoked spicy meat and then 4 monkey liqueurs, which gives me a total of 30. What is that? What's math on that? 15 plus a 20, so 35% fire boost, but I get 4% crit master. Overall, elemental is crazy, especially in game. I will say though, raw is still good to have. Raw is great for fighting mighty monsters because it's very cheap food to make, all things considered, versus elemental being the most expensive, and then crit being in the middle. But it was pretty interesting to see just how crazy this was, because for the longest time I was like, raw is the best, crit sucks, elemental sucks. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.